My name is Jordan Ogden. I'm the pastor of Antioch, Ann Arbor, and we are so excited about what God is doing in our midst. Hope you enjoy these videos. Talking about what God has done this year in Ann Arbor, and it has been a ton. Jesus is on the move. The word for the year for us was more of Jesus, and that is certainly what we have seen. For those of you who have tracked with us over these past few years, you know that we started out with a small group of folks moving up from Texas, and we now with kids, we have 133 people involved in our community, reaching out with the love of Jesus in many different ways. This year we finished up our first discipleship school and started our second year. The folks that finished that school have gone on to move overseas. Some are planning a church in Detroit next year. Others moving into Detroit. Others have joined our staff here locally. It was a huge win. Lives being transformed. This year, a brief story, a young man came in, not real interested in the things of God, but his soon-to-be wife was really interested in him getting more of Jesus, and he has gone from being really disinterested to very interested, having no joy to having really a lot of joy and peace in his life, finding a grace on his life for evangelism. It's been awesome to watch that transformation. The number of our Connect groups has doubled this year, so more opportunity for people in our community to find more of Jesus. We were able to go in together as a church and buy a car for one of our single moms at Mother's Day this past year, and that was a big community win. In terms of missions outside of our context, we sent a team to Europe to do Engage the Crisis with the refugees there. We sent a team to Tijuana, Mexico, and a team to Detroit for a week long of tent meetings. So more of Jesus spreading out of Ann Arbor. There is more to come in the new year. We just wanted to say thank you for enabling us to serve here in Ann Arbor as we see God do amazing things, transforming lives. I'm going to read from Isaiah 54, 2 and 3, which is the primary passage that guides Antioch. It says, "Enlarge the place of your tent, and let the curtains of your habitations be stretched out. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords and strengthen your stakes. For you will spread abroad to the right and the left, and your offspring will possess the nations and will people the desolate cities." What we're seeing happening here in our midst is that very thing, a peopling of the desolate cities. If you look behind me, we are seeing Connect groups now from Ann Arbor, starting in Ypsi, all the way over here to Belleville. We have friends living over here in Detroit that are working with Syrian refugees in the Hamtramck area, and we have friends that have gone through our discipleship school that will be planting a church next fall over in this area of Detroit. We work in Detroit with a group called Life Builders, and we have people from our church that are looking right now to physically move into that neighborhood to re-people those desolate streets, that those streets would be those that have dwellings. This is hugely exciting. In this, the remaining videos, what you're going to see are testimonies with some different friends sharing about how the grace of God is functioning in our region, and then we will come back at the end to close it off. We're in the Life Builders neighborhood, and this is where we've been working for a couple of years. And if you see behind me, the nice aesthetic of this part is because of the work that our friends have been doing in this neighborhood. And we're excited to continue to partner through prayer, through giving, through practical servanthood. And the vision here is expanding, I would say exploding, in the amount of people that are going to be able to be reached. So thank you for supporting us, enabling us to.
So every Thursday we come to serve Life Builders. We spend time with a guy named Kevin, who's become a dear friend to us, to Jordan and I. And after working on houses, painting basements, removing debris, throwing them in dumpsters, doing yard work, whatever they ask us to do, we always go to a great establishment known as Buffalo Wild Wings. And we hang out with Kevin and we do a simple discovery Bible study. We look at a passage and we say, hey, what can we learn about God? what can we learn about ourselves, and how do we apply this to our lives? And Kevin has been doing this. All right, so like I said, we've been hanging out at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh yeah.
One of our favorites. So this is Kevin. He works for Life Builders. But Kevin, share just with the camera what you kind of hope to do now after just seeing how simple learning about God is and discipleship is.
Okay. So far, what I have planned after hanging out with two of the most incredible people here that come down here in Detroit is pretty much get like a small group of people, or maybe all type of people, individuals, have a little Bible study, or just how can we connect with God a little bit closer, bringing our relationship closer together as people and our relationship with God, and then just have hour and a half meeting with them, and then just see how it go from there, and make that relationship continue to go on, because I know it's a lot of people out here that just searching for God, and they just need people like good leaders, like
this guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a good leader, thanks to this guy in Jordan, and just make the best of it, because I know it'd be a powerful, inspirational deal, and I look forward to seeing that happen.
It's awesome. Yeah, so this Life Builders neighborhood is going to get changed through guys like Kevin.
All right, well, I'm here with my friends Chase and Jenny Tebow, and they're going to share a couple of stories of just what's going on in their lives here in Detroit. Chase.
Okay, well, we moved into Detroit about 1.5 years ago, and so we've been trying to get to know our neighbors, and one of the things that we felt led to do was to throw a Halloween party. So we did that the first year we moved in, but nobody knew us, and it was fun, and then we did it again. Yeah, I thought it was fun. Beautiful thing was that Halloween, you don't have to invite anybody, they just come. They come to your door. And we thought about, as we were praying through, felt like, there's a lot of hopelessness in the city, a lot of broken families, and just hard times, jobs and finances and just strife. And so we threw a Holy Ghost party.
Holy Ghost party.
A Holy Ghost party. We wanted to just give love, light, and life. And just the opposite of a lot of the messages that people in the city hear. And we were really thankful as people came through. We were able to love on them. We had a lot of wonderful volunteers from our church that came and helped us. We ran games in the front yard, doing bobbing for apples the first year, not this year, eating donuts off a string, throwing a fishing pole over a blind to get some candy for the kids. And then one of our favorites too, we had a spiritual reading table, in which we invited people to come, and we would wait on the Lord and give them words from Him and pray for them. And that honestly was really special. Right? People enjoyed it quite a bit. Had some good connects both years. And I think it was neat too for some of the folks that came to volunteer as well, just to see God really speaking to them, and giving them words for folks that really hit where they were. So we are thankful to be able to be in the city and just be giving people, God's love, letting Him move through us. And so that's where we're at.
I was here and I was just meandering through the crowd, and I heard one young child say to their mom, "Hey mom, come over here. These people talk to God and then they pray for you." And I was like, yes, it was awesome. So way to go, Holy Ghost party. One of the other things that is going on in our region is there is a large influx of refugees, and with the Syrian crisis, a lot of Syrian refugees. So God has really softened Chase and Jenny's heart to serve different families. So Jenny's going to share a little bit about that.
Outside of the Middle East, there are more refugees and Arab peoples here in the Detroit area than anywhere else in the world. And so we have a very unique opportunity to reach these people. Very recently, with the Syrian refugee crisis, more have landed in Michigan than any other state in the United States. Hundreds have come in the last year. And so we have been so thankful and privileged to meet a few families. We go, we have dinner together. They're incredibly hospitable. Get to know their family. In order to engage the kids, we usually bring some games. Connect 4 and Spirograph are universally popular among children. Chase and Samir are playing backgammon, which is also very fun. And we hear their stories. And we hear, like we did just this past week, about a cousin that was just killed in Syria, and all the loss, all the pain, immense amounts of suffering. There's a very small window of time when people come, when they're open and they have a lot of needs and they need help. Once they get established, they kind of have their community and they're not so open to our help anymore. And so we are excited to be here for such a time as this, to engage these folks right now, to speak love and comfort, to pray that God will dispel fears, to hopefully help in some very tangible things like getting a green card or getting a physical or enroll kids in school. And hopefully through all of this, get the opportunity to share the gospel and share that Jesus is for them and Jesus has been with them and Jesus is fighting for them. Not messages that they're hearing from anywhere else in the world. So many of these people, we would never meet them, except now they've come to us. An amazing opportunity, and we're really
We want to send out 1 U.S. team and 1 international team. So that will be accomplished this coming fall with the church plant in Detroit. We wanted to have 2 discipleship schools running, and by the grace of God, that is happening as we speak. We have 1 in Ann Arbor and 1 in Detroit. And then finally, we wanted to have 1 immersion program in Hamtramck. And that is getting closer to becoming a reality as we were recently approved as an internship site for this summer. What that will mean is that we'll have 15 to 30 interns from all over the place that will come. We've had leaders that have said yes to moving up to facilitate that time. And it will lay the groundwork for the immersion experience that we believe that God has called us to facilitate here, specifically for people that want to go overseas to serve as missionaries among Muslims. To accomplish all of this, we would like to be able to purchase a house eventually in that Hamtramck area. And additionally, to accomplish that, we need a space in Ann Arbor. Those people that are doing all these different things are people from our local church here in Ann Arbor. And we would like to be able to meet on Sunday mornings instead of Sunday nights, primarily for our families that are in the area. We have an opportunity to do that with a facility, and it's a little bit out of our price range. And so what we would, not much, but a little bit, what we'd like to do is we'd like to ask if we could have someone meet us halfway and go in with us for 18 months of the 3-year contract so that it would become a 50-50 split. If God lays out in your heart and you say, we would love to go in with you, right now we're looking at a number that's about $4,800 per month. So you could contact Jason or myself, and we would love to follow up with you with partnering with what God is doing here on this. Thank you guys so much. Have a great Christmas.